Hey everyone, and welcome back to the wonderful world of weddings. My name is Daniel Krikorian. I am so happy to have you here. Today we have a wonderful guest on. We're going to talk to Giggi from Boston Bride. This show is brought to you by Be Remembered, where you can have a wonderful wedding experience. Go to BeRememberedWeddings.com for everything you need from photography, videography, event planning, DJ, coordination, makeup, photo booth, and more. Please know that we are all in-house here, so we can offer an incredible package on absolutely everything. Our entire team works with us from day one. We are going to make your wedding absolutely incredible. Go to BeRememberedWeddings.com or give us a call at 508-625-7142. Now, Giggi, we are talking all things bridal. I personally have no clue what I'm talking about here, but I can bustle a dress.
Okay, that's
so
good.
That's a start. I'm going to take that. And we're going to. That's going to be my only kind of weapon today.
Okay.
But tell me how you got into this whole thing, because I'm always interested in people's origin stories. And how did this all start for you?
20 plus years, I was in a totally different industry, and I was more on the administration end. So I ran practices and stuff like that.
Yep.
I got tired of making all them this large cash and money. I'm like, you know what? I need to be my own boss, do my own thing, and But really got the business aspect of how to run a business, and that's big. I hear so many times from people, "Oh, this must be so much fun," and I'm like, "Yes, it's fun, but it's also a business.
Right.
You have to have both of that."
Yep.
And so I went into event planning for a short time because I was always doing parties, not only for myself but for friends, and because I just love that, and I really enjoy it. And I started building my network base because that was important. I needed to meet with the photographers, florists, everything. And once I got deeper and deeper in it, I'm like, I think I want to open up a bridal shop. I think I love fashion. That's what I'm all about.
Okay, so that was the connecting point for you. The fashion with the administration.
Yeah, and planning my own wedding, planning our daughter's wedding, planning our son's wedding. So it was like, it was wedding. And it's, once my husband and I got married, it's like, oh my God, can we do this every year? And he's going, oh my God. So he wasn't surprised.
That's an expensive habit.
He wasn't surprised that this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I do love it. I absolutely enjoy it a lot.
Well, you did take the cop out though. You don't have to now be a part of the wedding as much. You get to deal with all of the let's say the ease of the day. I mean, there's nothing easy about picking out a dress. I'm sure that's never the actual case, right? I'm sure you get the same amount of stress when they're in that bridal shop that I get the day of. But, well, no, you're still getting, I don't think you did cop out. You have the bridesmaids, you have the mother of the bride, you have the mother of the groom potentially, you have all of these different opinions swirling around, don't you?
Oh, gosh, yeah. Yeah, and that.
But you liquor them up, though, don't you? You give them a little bit of champagne.
Absolutely. There's complimentary champagne, wine. If they want a martini, I'll make them a martini. Whatever. It was kind of funny because it was one time that when I was mainly just doing champagne and mimosas and so forth, one of the bridesmaids said, "Do you have any vodka?" And I said, "What?" She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "Did you know there's not many calories in vodka, and I'm trying to lose weight for this wedding?" So, and I said, "Oh, okay." So wouldn't you believe?
Right.
Here it is years later. That's all I drink because it is only 200 calories in a martini. Nothing in it, just fresh lemon squeezed in it.
Right.
Once you add the vermouth, it's 240 calories. So can you imagine what those Cosmos are and chocolate martinis? Oh my God.
I was a bartender in college. I know exactly what they are.
There you go.
I need to throw all that in there. I had these two massive guys, right? This was my favorite story of bartending. Two big guys, construction workers, father and son combo. They come in every single Tuesday. And I'd look at them. I'd say, "Hey, Jim, how you doing?" Good. I said, "What do you want today?" And they go, one had an espresso martini and the other one had a Cosmo. And I said, they go, "Don't you dare." I go, I want to say something. Nope, don't you dare. We worked all day. I want my Cosmo. Do you know how good these things taste? I said, "I'm not going to judge you. He goes, "But make sure I want an extra pink and I want a lime in there."
My husband's former coworker, that's what he loved. Jim loved his Cosmos. So Keith would sit down. He goes, "You gonna have one of those pink drinks again?" And it was just constant every time when
I said, "You want the little umbrella in there too?" Yeah, little. And he's just like, "Dan, I don't want to hear it." Okay. I said, do you want to talk about fashion or sports? We can go either. Shut up. Give me my Cosbo. Put the game on. Okay. All right. So my next question, though, is really, do you see the alcohol being beneficial to you, or does it slide things downhill? What way do we go? Is it?
I could answer that two different ways.
Okay.
It's great to have that when you have a bride that she's really nervous,
right.
Mainly because she did, the size is the big thing, and in bridal industry, the size, the number is bigger than what the dress really is. I think there's a little guy that's in a room somewhere in the world, and he says, I'm going to torture these women. I'm going to make that number bigger than what it really is just to make them really struggle. And it's terrible. I mean, I had an assistant that was between a size 4'6", and she fit my size 12 wedding dresses perfect. Does that make sense? No. So can you imagine what that does to the women's mindset?
Right.
But that helps relax them. But there was one time that I had a champagne fountain. And
fountain.
Fountain. Okay.
Okay.
So
do tell.
I was advertising that on social media and just doing my mini little, commercials or videos, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
And it was a pretty busy day, and there was this one mother that kept going out to that champagne. She kept leaving her daughter. Here's her daughter with me. We're trying to have that aha moment, okay?
Right.
And here she comes out there, and she's like filling. She must have filled her glass. Oh, I couldn't count. 5-6 times maybe. And towards she was getting plastered. I mean, she was just like, she's slurring her words and everything. And she comes up and she hands me $40. I go, what's that for? She goes, I drink so much champagne. I said, no, that's complimentary. That's why I had the fountain. She goes, okay, thank you. And the bride's like, all right, Mama.
You should have taken it and been like, yeah, actually, that's a great point. You owe me more. You need to cut it out. Jesus, that is hilarious.
So needless to say that I think I only did that 2 weekends, and that fountain was no longer. Yeah, it just.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was interesting. I had a grandmother. She got a little tipsy just on a half a glass of champagne. That was funny.
There's actually a movie, and I'm not a big fan of Amy Schumer, but she wrote this movie called Trainwreck. It was one of their first that she produced, and she's in it, and she's with her sister, and I'll never forget this part. I thought it was hilarious. And I just started getting into the wedding industry, and I watch it, and she goes, oh, can I have a mimosa hold the orange juice? And he goes, you mean champagne? And she goes, you don't have to be that judgy about it. And I was like, that's a great line. That's actually really funny. I was like, that's okay. Yeah. Good for you, Amy Schumer. You won me over there. And LeBron James was trying to win me over in the movie. He didn't do it, but I don't like LeBron James. Never been a big fan. Anyways, so so we've been in the bridal industry for quite some time, yeah? Yeah, you've seen it all, I'm sure.
Seen it all.
Yeah. Well, when we get back, we're going to talk more about the actual services you offer and how we go through that entire process, because you really make it an event, as it should be. And I think, I got
special things to tell you that I've implemented at Boston Bride. Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
In 15 years in the bridal industry, you figure out a thing or two, right?
Get to stand apart a little bit,
So anyways, we're going to be back in just a few. We're going to be talking from Giggi from Boston Bride, and we're going to see everything that you encompass at Boston Bride, but also some of these extras that you've added on to really make it an incredible experience. At Be Remembered, we want an incredible experience for every single bride, and so, every single couple. And so you are focusing mainly on that bride and how to make this a wonderful day.
Absolutely.
From the shopping all the way to the day of the wedding. So when we come back, join us here in just a few. We're going to go to a few commercials. Before we do that, please go on to BeRememberedWeddings.com. If you're here trying to figure out your big day, even if you don't know if you're going to go with Be Remembered, give us a call, send us an email. I always say, just write in the subject line, help me, and we will help you. If it's not from advice, it's really try to to build a package specifically for you. So go to BeRememberedWeddings.com for everything photo, video, event planning, DJ, coordination, makeup, photo booth, and more. We'd love to talk to you. My name is Daniel Krikorian. This is The Wonderful World of Weddings, and we will see you back here in just a few. Thanks for joining us.
Every step, writing stories that seek to be read, taking hold of the moment as we discover every color filled with wonder. Now we finally see we got everything we need. Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day. It's ours to take and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Wonderful World of Weddings. My name is Daniel. I'm so happy to have you here with us. We are talking all things brides. We're talking all things brides today. We'll just leave this in there and have some fun with it. But before we get into that, I do want to let you know this show is brought to you by Be Remembered, where you can have a wonderful wedding experience. So please go to BeRememberedWeddings.com for all things photography, videography, event planning, DJ, coordination, makeup, photo booth, and more. We are always happy to help you. And just like this show, we want to really create an amazing day for you by giving you the greatest of advice. On this show, we bring in amazing experts every single week. But if you call 508-625-7142, you can speak with one of our amazing wedding specialists to talk all things wedding and make sure that you have an incredible wedding and a wedding to be remembered. That being said, let's get back into our conversation, Gigi. We're having an amazing one here. You know what? I think I need some tea. All right, let's see if we can do this. So we're going to talk things bridal services here and all things wedding dresses. Now, I know absolutely nothing about this except for my bustle story, which we're going to get into. It's fine. But what do you offer at Boston Bride? Like, explain to me the whole process. I need to know it from start to finish.
Okay. When I started 15 years ago, I was a typical traditional bridal shop.
Okay.
You know, you could possibly have walk-ins, you know. I've tried to keep it with appointments only, but, you know, I never refused to walk in if I didn't have anything, you know, if I was opened up, then I would see them and so forth. But it just started to get too much, especially when my store got much larger when we moved. It was just a revolving door. And, you know, here I'm trying to focus on the bride and you've got someone walking in. Even when I had girls working with me, it was just very chaotic. And I would hear a lot from brides. It's like certain places they would go, they were like, I can't have that kind of, it just distracts me. All that, you know, disruption and all that, everything. So after rethinking everything, I said, all right, we're going to be by appointment only strictly. So I don't go into my boutique if I don't have an appointment. I have a life now. You know, it used to be 6 days a week and, you know, sometimes you'd have not a full day, half a day, whatever it may be, and you're like, okay, you know. I mean, there's always things to do, but still, when it's a gorgeous 85-degree day out and everybody's at the beach, I'd rather be there at the beach with them. So,
well, also that's very chaotic, and you know we deal with this here too. The phone doesn't ring for 3 hours, and all of a sudden it doesn't stop for 2. You know, and it's just so off and on, especially in the demand of this industry, because most people don't have the time of day, right? They're working 9 to 5. So your phone lights up at 5. You know, and it's on till 11. I saw us go until 11 last night, and one of our guys, Tim, says to me, you know, I'm trying to go to bed, but if it keeps going, I will be up. And it's just like, you know, you have to sometimes.
I'm on social media all the time. I mean, because brides are messaging me sometimes 10 o'clock. I had a girl message me at midnight. And because I stay up late to work on my own social media and stuff like that. And I answered her and I showed her how to book, and she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you answered me at midnight. You know, it's customer service. I mean,
it's those experiences. They don't forget that.
No, they don't. And if you don't work with them as soon as you can. They're just going to move on.
Yes.
The kids nowadays, they don't have patience for that.
No.
They need to do it now. And I want to be able to help them. You know, I love helping people. But so getting back to Boston Bride, what my boutique is now is, again, appointment only. I increased the duration that I'm with them. It used to be 90 minutes. Now it's 2 hours. And that boutique is literally theirs for 2 hours with me. I've limited it to the bride bringing 4 guests because anything more than the 4, it just, that the chaos starts again. You know, and again, some brides, you know, they're intimidated. I mean, this could be their first time walking into a bridal boutique. They don't know what to expect. You know, they don't know, people don't get married every day, obviously. So I want to keep it, you know, I picked their own genre of music, and I've put together little packages. They don't have to purchase the package if they don't want to, but I have like a package with chocolate-covered strawberries with champagne, and I added something else to it. I forget what I added to it. I have like a wine and cheese, fruit, cracker tray, and little sweets at the end. There's that package there. I have almost like a high tea package where you can have tea, you know, the finger sandwiches. I'll have, you know, scones. I'll have all, you know, the different things that I put together. I'm trying to think. There's one other one, but it's minimal. It's like one of the packages. It's like $20 per person. Another one's $25 per person. I think the most expensive, I don't want to say most expensive, but it's like $35 a person, but they literally, you can have any choice and complimentary of anything. You know, it could be wine, beer, martini, whatever you want. Because
Got to save those calories.
You know, tea, coffee, I mean, because a lot of people don't drink either. So I want to make sure there's a variety. You know, I've got the sparkling water, and this is the first time I've had coffee in a long time, but being up since 5 a.m., I needed it. But I want it to be, I love helping brides. It's so special to me because, you know, I've always said it, I feel, I can't believe I'm there helping her select her dress. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, her guests that she brings are also contributing. Yeah. But I'm filling someone's shoes that possibly couldn't be there. Yeah. You know, there's many brides that they don't have their moms anymore. They don't have their grandmothers anymore. They don't have their aunts anymore. And I'm kind of taking that place, you know, being her mother or her grandmother or aunt, whatever it may be, someone that was very special to her that she wished that was there. Yeah. And
while offering advice that no one else can have, right?
Yeah.
They don't have that same type of experience that you do. They don't have that eye for fashion. You know, even if her mother is there, there's something that she's lacking in terms of bringing her to that perfect dress. Yeah. And you're making that connection. And I think, you know, being that additional, we can call you the fairy godmother, right? That's the way I see it. It's like it's that additional piece that, you know, is missing that you're trying to cater to and really be a part of. And I love how much of a connection that you're trying to make there. It's so intimate and needed. You know, and again, I talk on the show all the time. When in everyday life, so my background is psychology, in everyday life, I see how timid people are to move into any type of world that they have a lacking of knowledge, right? They feel stupid. They feel stupid even asking the questions. And my goal is always to arm people with questions and start that conversation, because 90% of this world sits there and goes, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go in because I don't know what to even say. I don't know where to start. Now, my advice, even if you don't have the questions, is to just say hi, just to start the conversation. Right. Admit your ignorance. Admit, I'm stupid. Please help me here. Yeah. That's a great way. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. It's actually, I think it shows a sign of intelligence to say, I have no clue. Yeah. But that being said, you know, when you meet someone that says, not only is it okay, but I'm going to help you, I'm going to be here for you. Yep. That's a very strong and amazing connection that you can create. And I think in the wedding world now, you go from just this level of ignorance of that we all have in everyday life to I have ignorance on something that I'm going to spend a fortune on.
Right.
That's going to impact the rest of my life. That's going to be the pivot point of our future together.
Yep.
It's a very big moment.
It's huge.
It's very, very
I feel
big.
honored to be there,
Yeah,
literally.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I love working with, I hate the word plus size because I want to say, all right, do you call the other girls negative size? So they're beautiful, curvy women, and I see women that are in sizes 28, 30, 32. The apprehension that they have coming in because a majority of the bridal shops out there don't carry a lot of dresses for curvier girls. And
which I don't understand that. That's something to me. People blame things like capitalism for that. I don't. If capitalism is a true capitalist society, you want to actually take care of everyone.
Yeah.
It's more customers.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's more experiences, it's more everything. Like, why wouldn't you?
I know.
I don't understand that principle.
Well, it's a lot of too is, when you have to purchase all these samples, it's, the storage, if you have enough areas and,
okay. All right.
But when I purchase my samples, I don't purchase them from a plus size designer.
Right.
I purchase them from the designer that sells that dress to any size.
Right.
Which, you can pretty much get them from any designer that way, but I don't just buy the 10s, the 2s, or whichever it may be. My average bride, oh my gosh, it's like 16, 18.
Well, and then you're telling me too that they're making these sizes up as they go with a lot of them, and the 2 is now the 10, and it's like that has to be devastating for someone being like, I'm about to do this amazing thing, and now they're calling me a 10. I mean, they actually did that with men's pants recently. They went to Italian sizes, and so I've always been a 34, always, and I've lost weight. And now I'm a 36.
Oh my God.
And this design.
And doesn't that make you feel like, oh my God?
Well, for me, I kind of wanted to be bigger. So I'm like, I guess I'm doing something right. And I said this to this designer I know, and she goes, no. I said, what do you mean? She goes, no. All these skinny little men that don't work out anymore, they changed the sizing for them. So you're a 36 now. I said, I thought we were measuring. I thought 36 was a measurement. She goes, not anymore. I go, what the hell? Who did this? Who thought of this?
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Anyways, when we get back here, we're going to talk about all things fashion and trends. This is Giggi from almost did it, from Boston Bride. We're going to be back here in just a few, guys. Thank you so much for joining us in the wonderful world of weddings. My name is Daniel, and we'll see you right after this short commercial break. Thank you.
Every step, writing stories that seek to be read. Taking hold of the moment as we discover every color filled with wonder. Now we finally see we got everything we need. Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go with the sunlight. It's a brand new day, it's ours to take, and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the wonderful world of weddings. I am so happy to have you here. My name is Daniel Krikorian, and we have been having a wonderful conversation. On this show, what I try to do is bring in amazing experts across the entire wedding industry to really help you get armed with the knowledge you need to go create an amazing day. But I have a little shortcut for you, and that is to go to BeRememberedWeddings.com for photo, video, event planning, DJ, coordination, makeup, and more. Because at Be Remembered, we want you to have a wonderful wedding experience. So we brought everything in-house to drive the price down and make it so your day is absolutely incredible for every single bride and groom. So go to BeRememberedWeddings.com, send us an email today, do whatever you need to get in contact with us, because we want to help make a wonderful wedding experience. But the woman sitting across from me is also making a wonderful wedding experience, and her name is Giggi, and she is from Boston Bride. So if you need a wedding dress, she's the place to go. That being said, we're talking about trends right now. I want to know everything. So I don't understand fashion. Period.
The trends change so quickly. It's because the designers are already designing in 2024.
That seems exhausting to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's twice, this twice a year. They're just
Right.
doing all these designs, and it's like to catch up. It's now a lot of it's a simple, sophisticated kind of look.
Well, that's me. I'm simple and well, no, I'm mostly simple, but
but that will, start. It will not leave completely, but that will start moving out, and then maybe the midriffs might come back again. The girls love the low backs. Very low backs. I mean, it's just ongoing. It's interesting to see all the different styles constantly.
Now, see, this is one thing I don't understand, because for me, I buy clothes to be worn and to look nice, but my goal is they need to last.
Yeah.
Fashion does not care about efficiency.
No.
At all. And this is something where I'm in the wedding world. I understand it from an aesthetic standpoint. When I take a photo, I see a beautiful dress, right? I understand the difference. I see a dress that's actually perfect for a bride.
Yep.
And there's a distinct difference there that I never understood before. There are dresses that fit specific faces, and personalities and hairstyle and all of these different things.
Absolutely.
And I still can't tell you how that all works, but I do see it. And when I take that photo and I look and I go, wow, she looks stunning. And I don't mean to be rude, but even those who I don't find overtly attractive, if they are in the specific dress, I go, wow, you look great. You look great.
You have to know your bride shapes.
How do you?
You have to.
Is that something that comes from the fashion world? How did you learn this?
It comes from experience.
Yeah.
You have to really know your designers. You have to know how their dresses fit, because they're not all the same. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got everybody does a fit and flares. Everybody does the mermaids. Everybody does the trumpets.
Yep.
But it's their sizing that is different. Not every designer has the exact same sizing.
Sure.
All their measurements, each size could skip an inch and a half, sometimes 2 inches. So they're not all the same. I mean, that's why I mainly just do the custom measurements, because then I know I'm going to get a great fit for the bride. But you really have to, number one, listen to your bride. That is the number one thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. I mean, I hear this thing from my brides, so it's not like I'm just talking. They say that they went in and they wanted a fit and flare or a trumpet, whichever it may be, and the consultant at the bridal shop keeps bringing in ball gowns.
Right.
And at that point, the bride's gone through 10 dresses. She's exhausted.
And she hates them all.
She hates them all. Yeah. She's exhausted. And when they come to me, I'm like, have you tried on before? Do you know what you're looking for? And they're like, I'm just so confused now, because, I think I want this style, but they weren't putting it on me, and they didn't have enough time. But once I really study their figure and getting into the questions, the venue, everything, and I could pretty much tell, like, I would be a disco ball if I was wearing my wedding dress. It'd be like the more sparkle, the better. Okay, the bigger, the better. Go big or don't go home, whatever that saying is. I'm old, but I figured how that saying goes. But you have to listen to them. If you see, like my daughter, she's the complete opposite of me.
Yeah.
I wear makeup every day. She doesn't. She's very simple, doesn't go crazy on anything. And you look at your bride and you see, I'm not going to go out and get a disco ball wedding dress, because I know that's not what she wants.
Right.
And, that's when her guests will fill in too, because you just hear them talking and everything. But once you do that, you're putting less dresses on that bride, so she's not getting frazzled.
Right.
I'm not perfect. The first one or two may not be right exactly.
Right.
But I won't put something on that she's not asking for. But then sometimes I put something on her that she doesn't think she's going to love, and she absolutely falls in love with it.
Right.
My curvy girls, the drop waist gowns look absolutely stunning on them. I mean, when I cinch them in and their waistline goes in, I mean, they tear up.
Yeah.
And I had one bride years ago, and she looked at herself in the mirror, and I think maybe it was the fourth dress on, and she was probably a size 24. Every single dress, some of them I had to clip on, and she goes, "You clipping because it's too small?" I said, "No, it's too big, honey." She goes, "What?" So she's in the third or fourth dress, and she's looking in the front of the mirror, and she just cried and just said, "Oh my God, I am so beautiful." And it's like, right now I want to tear up, and this is not fun. I mean, I tell some of my stories, and it's just like, I did that for her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I made her beautiful.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, they don't see it. It's, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
I know.
when they go to the department stores, there's not someone there helping them dress them.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm putting something on
Well, they
them.
don't care. They don't. Yeah.
They don't.
There's a difference.
A huge difference.
And all you have to do is care. It's really not that hard.
No.
You just have to take the time and realize that this is another human being that wants to just be beautiful on her day to show the world their love together.
Absolutely.
It can really be that simple.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take a whole lot of effort. You just have to listen.
It doesn't. But unfortunately, sometimes it's not in those people's hearts. It's just... Yeah. It's got to be in your heart. You got to have that love for people. You know, I love making people happy. You know, and I do get the crab apples. You know, sure. But it's mainly because they're anxious.
Yeah, and you know
because the way they're treated, you know, in the other areas of, you know, I don't want to bring up names or something like that, but people aren't nice. Yeah, you know, some people are just not nice.
I know, and you hate it because then they get a bad taste and they portray it on you. And you know, that's something where I take things very personal.
Yeah,
and I've been told not to, but I do, and I think that's actually what helps.
Yeah,
it can help and it can hurt you too.
Yeah, it can.
Because when you actually give a shit, you know, and you show people that's all they wanted too.
Right.
But the problem is, you know, some people know how to take advantage of it and hurt you, and that's fine.
Yeah,
and then
been there.
Right. And then you have the others that have been mistreated so many times, and they come to you and they come off so standoffish. And, and you sit there and I've had to explain to my team, the ones who I know take it personal, these people have been hurt.
Yeah.
Don't be that next person.
Yep.
And don't take it personal because they are sitting there. I call it the hurricane, and I've repeated this many times. You have your bride in the center, and you have all of these different emotions getting pulled around her, right? The jealous bridesmaid, the mother-in-law.
I've had those.
Right? And you can see them getting twisted.
Yeah.
And they're putting it out on me, the photographer, because they don't understand, and they're not thinking. And you know what? I let them have it sometimes. I'm like, you know, I know. You don't mean this. This isn't your actual personality.
Yep.
You are getting pulled in a lot of different directions. And honestly, I want you to realize something. It's okay. Yep. I get it. I've seen it. I get it. How can I help? Let me listen to you for a second, which is all they need. And it's so funny when you do listen and they go,
oh yeah, just to see it on the,
Thank you.
Exactly.
And it's like, you know what? You're not a bad person. You're not. You just needed it.
Do you know who really works up the brides? Is their coworkers.
Oh, gosh.
Did you get your dress in? Did you get your dress? Did you get your dress? Did you get your dress? I mean, and then they're calling me, when's my dress coming? Is my dress coming? Is my dress coming? And it's like the coworkers, and I explain this to the brides when I see them, and she said yes to her dress. Now I start going into, all right, I give them approximate delivery date. Shipping now, oh my gosh, since COVID, forget about it.
Yep.
We don't know, you know, and it's not an Amazon. We don't have tracking numbers like that, you know. They're coming overseas.
Yeah.
So I just have to try to explain to them. It doesn't work all the time because they forget. Because you're next to that coworker every single day during the week.
Right.
And that's all they hear. And then they go to a family gathering. Did you get your dress yet?
Yeah.
Did you get your dress? So you get your aunts, your uncle, you get everybody.
Right.
You didn't get your dress yet?
And that's why they're emailing us at 11 o'clock
at
night.
Yeah, right? Yep. Oh, gosh.
I can't believe you don't have your dress.
Yeah.
Well, when we come back, we're going to give you some more tips and tricks from Giggi here, so that way we can really go ahead and calm that voice down inside your head. So thank you so much for joining us in the wonderful world of weddings. We will be back in just a few short seconds after these commercials. I've been with Giggi from Boston Bride. My name is Daniel. This is the wonderful world of weddings, and we can't wait to have you back in just a few. Thanks, guys.
Every step, writing stories that seek to be read, taking hold of the moment as we discover every color filled with wonder. Now we finally see we got everything we need. Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go, with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day, it's ours to take, and we will let it in. This is where hand.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the wonderful world of weddings. My name is Daniel Krikorian. I am so happy to have you here with us. We are having a wonderful discussion about all things bridal dresses. But before we get back to that, I do want to let you know to check out Be Remembered to have a wonderful wedding experience. This show is brought to you by Be Remembered, where they offer photography, videography, event planning, DJ, coordination, makeup, photo booth, and more. So please give them a call or go on to BeRememberedWeddings.com. You can also email us at any time at info@BeRememberedWeddings.com. If you need any help with your wedding, or if you're trying to book a slew of different services, please just give us a call, email us. Our wedding specialists are always here to help you to make a personalized experience and to create an amazing day for you, because that's our goal in the end of the day, is to create an amazing day at a reasonable cost. So give us a call or send us an email. Go to BeRememberedWeddings.com to check out more. Now, Giggi, let's get right back into our conversation. We're talking all things fashion in the last part of this episode, but I think, again, my biggest thing is talking about the tips and tricks of that day. As I said, the wonderful world of weddings, along with Be Remembered, is about creating better information for the bride and the groom. And in your instance, the information is everything, understanding what they want. Now, you have named all of these different bridal styles and dresses. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know what they mean. You said trumpet earlier. I thought we were playing some music. I guess my question is, when it comes to resources and information, where's the best place to get all of this? Is it magazines? Where are we finding this? How do you even begin?
They're everywhere. I mean, the internet is huge, as we all know. Some information isn't quite right. Some could be dead on. It's just... magazines are not really, I love the magazines still, but they're getting smaller and smaller, fewer and fewer, because most brides are all online.
Right.
Everybody obviously goes to the Pinterest board, but the struggles with Pinterest is there's a lot of European designers, which I carry. They're like 2 to 3 years ahead of the US in their styles.
Really?
And brides would come to me and say, I want this dress. And I'm going to go, well, I can get it for them because, again, I'm working with the European countries and so forth. And it's before I was using the European countries, I had to literally say to the bride, I'm sorry, I don't have that, because it's just a tease, because some of those European countries also, want to gear them towards contacting them and where they can fly out to see wherever that could be. Obviously the really large, bridal salons in New York City and stuff would have that. Some brides will show me something and I want this dress. I love this dress. And I'm like, well, that's probably about $25,000. As long as that's in your price point, they're like, what? I mean, when you own a bridal boutique, you know after so many years,
right,
what
it's
where
that
cost. Dress is coming from, but it's everywhere, the information that they can get.
So let me ask you a question. Is it better for them to do all of this research prior, or is it better for them to come into you with a blank slate and allow you to really understand them and guide them from that principle?
I like the blank slate.
Yeah.
And because they also are getting information from their girlfriends or something that have gotten married, and they may not be saying the correct things all the way through it also.
Right.
Some are dead on, and I look at them and I'm like, you need a job? Because I'd love to hire you.
But it's a game of telephone.
But sometimes they're not getting the correct information. The littlest things, I mean, I would have brides coming in that have already been to other bridal boutiques, and they keep calling the train a tail. And they go, oh, can you fix that tail, Giggi? So I can see it. I go, a tail, honey? And
even I know it's a train.
And that's like that's just the silliest thing to have to teach someone.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't the other bridal salon say, it's not a tail, honey, it's a train?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just those little.
Right. It's like, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to actually allow you to understand.
Right. Because
some dresses aren't going to have
I wouldn't want them
trains.
to be embarrassed
Mm-hmm.
going somewhere, wherever, at the reception, whatever it may be.
Right.
And, oh, can you fix my tail? And people would go, what, you have a tail?
We should get that fixed first. Yeah. But
just, I like to, because I've been doing it for a long time, I like to educate them more.
And it's funny because you talk about the coworkers in the previous segment, and I get a lot of customers who reach out to us and they say, Dan, what equipment do you use? And my question is, well, why do you ask? And then they say, well, I know that I need these specs and this and that. And I said, oh, are you a photographer? And they say, no. I said,
doesn't that kill you?
Where did you get that information? Because you're not using the correct words. So now I'm not too sure what you're actually trying to say. And I knew you weren't a photographer because you're using the incorrect terminology. Yeah. And I'm not going to be rude. And I'm happy to tell you about our equipment. We use top of the line equipment. Really, that's all you need to know. But if you want to talk more about it, I'm happy to. And they're like, well, do you shoot 4K? Well, yes, but you don't want 4K. Everyone told me I did. You don't actually, because it won't fit on your phone because it's a massive file size. And so you won't, and I know that you're going to have this on your phone. It also, until recently, most social medias weren't even playing in 4K. They were only up to 1080p. Some of them still don't. And so what's your concern? I don't understand what you're trying to do here. It's just that disconnect, right? But they hear these little pieces and terms and they want to sound educated.
And they look at you like you don't know what you're talking about. Because they depend, they respect whoever told them that, their opinion.
Of course.
And that person has to be right. Even though they're not in the industry, they've got to be the right one. And you just have to take a breath and go,
so let me help you. How do I say this properly and help you and not be rude?
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, because they come off rude. And I had a guy who tried to drill me one day and I was like, so no, that's not how this works. I'm happy to help though. Let me tell you why it doesn't. And I go into our reasons and they go, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And I hear the clicking going and I'm just like, yep. And they're like, well, how many weddings have you done? Well, last year we did 876. Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's exhausting sometimes.
It is.
It's
but I also feel like it's our job.
It's like but then you got to go all the way around this way to tell them, you know what I'm saying?
To get right back to where we were.
Where you're supposed to be.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like now you're finally there. Now you can explain the whole.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, that's why I should be listening to you. Yes, it is. Yep. I wasn't lying. But anyways, okay. So I love talking to you. Unfortunately, the radio show doesn't let me just talk forever. Otherwise, we'd be here all day and night.
You can't shut me up.
Where do we find Boston Bride? How do we get in contact?
Boston Bride is in Norwood, and the website is bostonbride.net.
Okay.
I've also bought another domain name just in case. So that's bostonbrideboutique.com. And that just,
sends you the same place.
Sends them right to the same place.
Love it.
But I'm by appointment only. I mean,
appointment online. Do you go online to do it? Wonderful.
Yeah, the bride's it's easier that way because they're really at work doing that.
I know.
They're right in their front desk, and it's much easier.
We won't tell anyone. It's fine.
Much easier than that. Moms like to talk. The moms don't really want to book online. They want to call.
Yep.
Which is good, because they're looking after their little girl. They want to make sure they're being treated right.
Oh, absolutely. I know. I have full respect for that. When a mom calls me or a parent calls me and they're just like, I need to know. And then all of a sudden we're in an hour-long conversation. They're like, oh, I love you. They're going to go with you. I'm like, okay, great. It's like, I got you. It's like, I just didn't know what to expect. I need to make sure you're real. Totally get it. Let's do it. I could be on the phone sometime with them for an hour. Yeah. Literally.
Oh, yeah. And we just get sidetracked and talk about all kinds of other things. And
I love it. Oh, we're definitely going to take care of you. We're definitely going to book you. Okay.
Yeah. They just need to feel like their child's going to be taken care of.
Yep. Again.
Which I respect.
Care.
Yeah.
I would want the same thing.
Absolutely.
I have no problem. And also they can find you on Instagram, on all the social media.
Boston Bride, anywhere from Twitter to
TikTok.
I don't even use Twitter that much. I don't even know why I say that.
I know. I don't use Twitter either.
I think this is the first thing I say,
Yeah.
but I'm not.
I've never once in my life cared about Twitter.
No.
I have no care about people knowing my opinions.
Yeah, it's mainly Instagram, Facebook.
Yep. And
I'm learning TikTok, but...
Is it at Boston Bride?
At Boston Bride, yeah.
Wonderful. All right, guys, go check out Giggi at Boston Bride. Follow her, DM her if you need to. Go ahead, slide in those DMs. I always say this because Sophie just looks at me like, oh, God, you're so old. But it's totally fine. So go out there, talk to her, everything you need to know. And if you are just joining us on the radio show, go back, re-listen to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Go follow, subscribe, leave us a review. Tell us if we're helping you. I really want to know. We want to bring on amazing guests. So go to berememberedweddings.com/podcast. You can actually inquire right there. Tell us your story. We'll share it here. Tell us your questions. We're always happy to ask, and we want to ask so we get you the best information. Giggi, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. And guys, thank you for joining us wherever you are. This has been the Wonderful World of Weddings podcast. My name is Daniel Krikorian, and I'm so happy that you could join us today. We will see you again next week. Take care.